Hibernate. Hibernate is also a framework, and it is a open source, so we can directly download the jar file from the internet and we can use it. And it is also a lightweight framework, just like Spring. And Hibernate implemented JPA, and we have already done JPA. So uh, mostly it work with just like as JPA, and we have not need to create the table in database. We have not write the write any queries in Hibernate. It will perform by Hibernate. We have not need of this. And if we want, we are using Hibernate at the place of JPA, sorry, JDBC. And I think you have already learned JDBC in core Java. So first of all, what is Hibernate? Why we are using it? Actually, according to Hibernate, Java developer is not good for writing the SQL queries. Okay. So according to Hibernate, it will perform the all operation with database. We have need to write the only code of Java. We have not need to write the query in SQL. So actually we use Hibernate between the Java and JDBC. Okay, so we have not need to interact with database. Hibernate will perform the all operation on database. We will only write the code of Java. Okay, so actually I think you know that. Here we will create a class file. It's also called persist file. You can say Pojo file, you can say Bean file. Okay, but here we call it Java file, that is a class file. Okay, and we will create the object of this class. Object of persist file. Okay, after that will be provide this object to Hibernate, and Hibernate is a ORM tool. ORM tool means object relational mapping. So we will provide this object to Hibernate ORM tools, and Hibernate connect with database and perform the all operation on database. Okay, so actually first of all we will create the persist file, and after that we will create the object of persist file, and we'll transfer this persist file to ORM tools. ORM tools means Java. Hibernate is a ORM tool, object relational mapping, and Hibernate connect with database and perform the all operation as per your need. Okay, you can say why we are using Hibernate at the place of JDBC. Actually, JDBC is also working in the background of Hibernate. You can say Hibernate is a packaging of JDBC. Okay, so what is the use of ORM tools, or what is the use of Hibernate? Actually, suppose we want to insert the data in the database. So we will type here insert into, here we specify the table name, and after that we can specify the value, like suppose this, or if we are Raj, suppose. Okay, So if we are passing here two values, it's very simple, directly in the SQL. But suppose we want to use Java, so for this purpose we use prepared statement. I think you have remembered this. We will specify here question mark. Suppose if you want to insert two values, so we will use two question mark. After that we will set the value for question mark. Okay, means here type here insert into imply values. Okay, like this. So if we want to insert two values, so we will use two question mark. Five values, so five question mark. Okay, but suppose in our table have 50 columns, 100 columns, so we have need 50 question mark, 50 100 question mark. So this is very tough to handle this. Okay, and so for at the place of this we can store the all values in a object of a persist file and only pass the object of that persist file to ORM tools, and ORM tools store that object in the database. So in the object of persist file we can say 1, 10 or any number of values in the object of persist file. So here if in this scenario if we are using JDBC, so if 5 values, 2 values, 3 values, so it's okay, no problem. But if you want to insert more values, 50 values, 100 values, so it is tough to handle this scenario. So here we use object of persist file at the place of values. So we can put the all values in the object of persist file and we can transfer that object to ORM tools, and ORM tools store that value in the database. We have not need to write this query on the SQL. At the place of this we will use only the different types of function, predefined functions. Okay, actually suppose we want to insert the value in the database. The first thing is we will pass the object at the place of values. Second thing, we have not need to write this query. Okay, only we will Hibernate or JPA. I think you have already done JPA. JPA provides different functions for different operations. Same as Hibernate also provides us different multiple methods for different operations. So at the place of these queries we will use that functions and perform the all operation. Okay, so now I'm going to create the example of Hibernate. In JPA we use only extend the JPA repository and we can perform that way. But Hibernate provides us four basic interface. Main is configuration, session factory, session, transaction. Okay, so first question will arise. Actually we have not need to write any queries, we have not need to write create the table in database. So how it will create Hibernate will create the database table and columns. So for this purpose we will provide the information, all information through XML file. Okay, so we use two XML file. One file is called mapping.xml file and configuration a.xml file. Okay, in mapping file we will declare the all information about the table. Means what is the name of table, what is the primary key name and columns name. Okay, in configuration file we declare the all configuration, means like username, password, URL, and driver class name, and mapping file also. Okay, so we use these two XML file, and with the help of these two XML file, we will perform the object all operation on the database. Okay, so configuration interface get the all information about what is the name of table, what is the name of primary key name, what is the column name, how many columns are exist. Okay, we declare in configuration file, and configuration, you can specify any name. Configuration interface get the information from the configuration file and create the connection with database. After that, we will use session factory. Session factory maintain the connection with database, and it provides the sessions. Okay, session means a time period. So here session is very important, because all methods, like if you want to insert the record in the database, if you want to fetch the record from the database, if you want to update the record database, if you want to delete the record database, for this purpose Hibernate provides us multiple methods. Session contains that all methods. So if we want to access that method, we have need object of session, and session factory provide us the all methods. Okay, after that we will use session method, session interface, and get the session. After that we will perform the transaction, means we will send the value in the database, we can fetch the record from the database through the transaction interface. So we will use these interfaces, and we will perform the all operation related to Hibernate. Okay, so now I am going to create an example of Hibernate. Hibernate is just like as JPA, because Hibernate implemented JPA. Okay, but it provides us HQL and HCQL language for access, write the query, different types of query to fetch or any perform any operation on the database. So something is different with JPA, but Hibernate is implemented JPA. Okay, so here we also use at entity tag, annotation, table, ID, generated value, column, one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationship, many-to-many relationship. It provides us the multiple annotation to perform the all operation in database. So entity, through the entity we can declare that class as a real world entity. Table, we can specify the name of table. ID, we can specify the primary key to the ID. Generated value, if you want to generate the ID value generate automatically, so we can use generated values. Column, we can specify the column name. If you want to make the relation between two tables, for that purpose we will use one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, many-to-many relationship. Okay, now I am going to create this example. So I am going to use Maven project. Okay, so click on file, then click on new, then click on Maven project. Here click on next. So we are going to work on Hibernate. So we use core application. So for this purpose use click start, quick start, then click on next, then group ID and specify here project name. Okay, next click on finish. Okay, this is a core structure of your Hibernate core application. Maven. First of all, we have need the dependency for Hibernate. So for this purpose, open your browser and here use Maven repository. Okay, click here and here we have need Hibernate core. Hibernate core. Click on search. Here you will get an option Hibernate core relocation. Okay, please here for users click on this link Hibernate core. Okay, it will show the different okay, and here you will get the multiple version. Okay, so here you can use anything. I'm using 309 5.6.15. I'm going to use this. If it will comfortable with our system, so I will use, otherwise I will change. Okay, then okay, 5.6.15 final. Click on here. Now I'm going to paste here. Okay, paste here. Okay, second thing, if you want to use Oracle, so for this purpose we have need of dependency of Oracle. If you are using MySQL, so you have need the dependency of MySQL connector. Okay, so here ODBCB, I'm using Oracle, so I will click on this dependency. Okay, only one dependency, select this and paste here. Okay, now after that I am going to create a persist class. So click on new, then click on class. Here I am going to specify a name, like suppose library, and here persist. You can specify any name like model or persist. Okay, click on finish. Here declare here private int book ID, private string book name, private string writer. Okay, after that we can generate the getter setter method of these properties. Source, click on generate getter and setter, select all and click on generate. Okay, save this file. Okay, this is also called persist file, but in Spring we call it Pojo file, plain old Java object, and in advanced Java we call it bean file. In core Java we call it as a example of encapsulation. Okay, so here entity, and we can import it. Java persist. Okay, after that table by the asterisk, so it will access all. Here name is equal to, we can specify the name of table, arrays library. Okay, and here we use id. Okay, if you want to specify column, you can specify here column like name is equal to, this is a column name, book id, comma, length is equal to 10. Same as we can declare the other columns. And we can change the name of column like book name, and here writer. Okay, save this file. Okay, now I'm going to check it, this table is already exist or not in SQL. So SQL, run SQL command. Connect username, password. Okay, and now I'm going to check it. Select a star from array slip. The table or view does not exist. So now, so we have need the information of this. Okay, so for this purpose I'm going to create, currently here if you are using XML file, so here we use two XML files, but if you want to use these annotation, so we can use this annotation at the place of one XML file. So if you are using annotation, so we have need only a configuration file, we have not need a mapping file. So currently I'm using annotation because you have already used a JPA, so we have not need to use XML. Currently we are using annotation. So now I'm going to create a XML file for configuration. So here click on add XML file for configuration. So click here XML file, click on next, type here like hyper.cfg.xml. Okay, click on next, click on next and finish. Okay, after that we have need the schema of this file. So we can get, I have saved this annotation in my, I have this schema. Okay, we have need of this configuration schema is configuration file. Actually this is a configuration file, not a schema. This is a complete configuration file. Here you can see this is a schema. After that here the topmost root tag is Hibernate configuration. So we declare the all configuration within this tag. So Hibernate configuration have a sub tag name is session factory. Okay, and session factory have some sub tag like here property. Okay, so in session factory, first property name is HTM HBM to DDL. DDL, I think you have remember DDL, data definition language. HBM, that is a Hibernate mapping file. Hyper mapping file to DDL dot auto update means it will create the table, automatically create the table in DDL. Okay, data definition language. Here I am using update. You can also use create, but if you will use create, so it will create a new table every time. When you will you will execute this your program, it will create a new table. For if you use update, so if that table is already exists, so it will update it. Otherwise, it will create a new table. Okay, so automatically it will create the table and write the query. Dialect. Here, that's a dialect. So, what is the meaning of dialect? What is the use of dialect? Actually, suppose we are using in a group. Suppose we are working in a group in a team, okay, and all members are working on different database like this. Okay, suppose it was working or in on Oracle. This is MySQL. It will create post gray SQL. It's working on SQL server. Okay, so Hibernate, how to create the query according to which database? So through the dialect, we inform to Hibernate we are using Oracle or MySQL or SQL Server or PostgreSQL. Means if we are using MySQL, so we will use dialect of MySQL. If we are using Oracle, so we will use here dialect of MySQL. If we are using SQL Server, so we will use dialect of SQL Server. According to this dialect, Hibernate easily understand which type of query it will write on the database. Okay, because it will write the query automatically. So Hibernate need the information which database you are using. Because so through the dialect we can inform to Hibernate we are using, I'm using Oracle, I'm using MySQL. So according to this, Hibernate write the queries. Okay. Next is URL. URL, I think you know that. URL name, username, password. Okay. And driver class name. Okay. So according to your database, you can specify this. My password is 1234. Okay. After that, here we specify the mapping file. So I have a class, library class. So here please copy the qualified name of library and specify here in mapping class. So it will get the all information about your table. What is the name of table, what is the ID name, how is the column names. Okay. So here we will specify the file name. Okay. Your persist file name. Okay. Hibernate. After that we will open the main class and here specify the use the all interfaces. Like here I'm going to use Hibernate example. So here we have need of this 4 interface. Okay. Okay, so configuration space here, specify the reference variable of configuration. After that, dot configure, and here we can specify the XML file. The XML file name is Hibernate.cfg.xml. Okay. After that, you can import these configuration files. So org hibernate.cfg. Okay. After that, session factory, the second interface, session factory. Here session factory is equal to dot, we use a function build session factory, and it will return the object of session. Okay. After that, session is equal to factory dot open session. Okay. And here transaction is equal to session dot begin session. Okay. And we can import this transaction, that is it, org.hibernate. Okay. Now this is, so configuration, get the all information about the table and configuration file from the hibernate.cfg.xml. Okay. After that, session factory create the connection with database and return the object of session, and session provides us the all methods, predefined all methods of Hibernate, and transaction, to the transaction we can perform the all transaction. If you want to insert the record in the database, if you want to fetch the record from the database, we can perform through the transaction. Okay. So here these are the all interfaces. After that, we will provide here the object of persist file. So first of all, create the object of persist file. Persist file name is library. So create here object of library file. Okay. Create new library. Okay. After that, you can put the values like obj.set book id, like, okay. Next, obj.set book name, like here, let us see. Okay. obj.set writer name, here you can specify like Yashwant. Okay. So you can create the object of your persist file. After that, you can set the value in the object of persist file. Now we have need to transfer this object to ORM tools or session. Session provides us the all method, so we can call the session method. So we have a method save method, and here we will pass the object of library file or persist class. Okay. After that, a session that save, then we save the all values in the session. After that, we will commit it. Internally, JDBC is working in the background of Hibernate, but we have need of here commit. in JDBC we have not need to use commit, it automatically perform the commit operation, but here we have need the commit because the value will transfer. Currently I am transferred to ORM tools, and ORM tool will connect with JDBC. So here we have need to specify the commit. After that you can specify the message, like you can specify any message. If you want to close your session, so you can use this. You can close the current session. Okay, now I'm going to execute it. I'm trying to execute it. Okay, it is very simple. First of all, create a core application in Maven. After that you will add the dependency. First of all, I'm going to execute it. Okay, after that we will explain it again. So run as, click on Java application. Here Hibernate example. So only done. Okay, now I want to check it. Actually it's working or not. So here again I'm going to, you can see this book ID 101. Let us see book name, I write a name Yashwant. Okay, so it will create your table and insert the value in the database. Okay, it's very simple. First of all, create a Maven core application. After that, add the dependency of Hibernate core and your database. After that, create your persist file and specify the annotation. After that, create the perform the configuration to the XML file. Okay, after that open your main class and use these interfaces and create the connection, create the object of persist file and put the value in the object and transfer this object in the session. After that transaction will perform, and after that you can close the session and you can execute your program and it will perform the operation. Okay, suppose you want to fetch the record from the database. Okay, 1 minute. Have you any doubt, any queries? Hello, Jones, Karthik, Gayatri, Ranjit, Nidhi, Vaishnavi. Okay. Now, suppose we want to fetch the record from the database. For this purpose, for save the record. If you want to insert the value to the database, for this purpose, Hibernate provides a method named is save. Same as if you want to fetch the record from the database, for this purpose, Hibernate provides a method named is create query. Okay, so here session dot create query and specify the query name here. Okay, so we have not need to query like just like this. Here actually we have need to specify the name of your class. So class name is library. So here specify the name of class. Here we are not using table name. Here we use name of class. Okay, because we are writing the code, only Java code. We have not need to write a query like just like SQL. Okay, and after that I am using a list method. It will return the record, all record. Okay, so we have need a list library. Okay, and now we can import that util package. Okay, and now I am fetch the record from the database. So here for this purpose we use for, and here it will fetch the record from the database and store the all values in the object of library. We have not need to create the library object and put the all values in the object of library. Actually list and session create the query and put the all values in the object of library, and list provide the list of all records. Okay, so here we perform it. Oh, sorry, table name is library. One of this library lib, and here we can print the all information like book id plus e dot get book id book name e dot get book name, here writer name plus e dot get writer. Okay, so if I will execute this program, so it will again save this value. So I'm going to put here another value like 1012 and cc, and okay, save this file, and now I'm going to execute it. Here, okay, done. We store that value. First value is 121, book name letter C, writer name just one. Second is 122, book name and cc, and writer name Bal. Okay, so through the save method we will save the object in the database, and through the create query we can fetch the record from the database as per our requirement. Okay, understood? Hello, it's okay. Any doubt, any queries? Okay, okay. Now I'm going to share this. Please try to create this example. Please try to create this example. It's okay.